I'm Dr. Aditya Patil. I am an intern at KM Hospital, Mumbai, and I was diagnosed. The thing is, in our hostel, actually, almost two or three of my friends were tested positive, and I started having symptoms by that time. So I said, why not? So swab came positive. Yeah.
Okay, and what are the working conditions for the junior doctors in your in the COVID ward?
The working conditions are quite good. We are taken quite care of, and we have provided all the personal protection equipments and the mask and all the sanitizers and everything is on point. So yeah, it's quite safe environment. But the thing is, just the workforce is a bit discordant with the work, the amount of work, the magnitude of work. So yeah, it is the only sole problem. Otherwise, government has and the municipal corporation has taken good care of us.
Okay, and what are the general measures that are being taken in the COVID wards to prevent the spread of nosocomial transmission of COVID-19?
Right. As for health workers, obviously we wear the personal protection equipments and we sanitize from time to time. And there is the donning and doffing areas are quite separate. So that's one thing. And for the patients, they are obviously separated more than 1 meter distance from each other, and they're wearing the mask themselves. And that's it. We are just the basic things like prevention of overcrowding and good sanitary measures. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, so how many days after testing positive are we supposed to remain under quarantine?
Actually, WHO says that ideally we should be quarantined for about 14 days because the initial as days pass by, the infectivity reduces. So 14 days is good enough if we're tested positive.
Okay, and what precautions are we supposed to take if we are tested positive?
As soon as we know that we actually, not only for positive patients, but if we have symptoms in general, we should isolate ourselves from everyone. We should stay in a confined place, in a confined room, and not, we can not go to work per se, and take all the, otherwise the same things, right? Prevent touching objects here and there, regular sanitization, regular hand washing, and wearing masks. And if we have cold and we are sneezing, we can cover it with the elbow and preventing handshakes. And yeah, that's it, the regular things.
Okay, Arpita, would you like to go ahead and ask the other questions?
Okay, so how are the interns and the doctors working on the front line, handling the immense stress that is on their shoulders?
There is never a warning sign, right? Because it's always it's always untold, and so stress is quite palpable per se. But yeah, it's a challenge in itself, and we are doing our best to do handle the situation. And yeah, it's mentally as well as physically challenging because the PPE we wear, especially in the climate of Mumbai, which is quite humid, and we all after wearing it, we are quite drenched in sweat, and it's difficult because you can't drink water, you can't eat, you can't go to the washroom. It's the difficult state to be in. So yeah, it's physically as well as mentally draining, but it is our job, and that's what we opted for in the first place. So yeah, we can't back out once.
Perfect. Are there any provisions regarding the mental health of doctors working in these COVID wards?
To be honest, in India, I can say that the mental health awareness is not as much as it should be. So in our working workplace as well, people are not taking prevent like measures to for helping or just let's say mental health diseases or taking care of their own mental health, or people are not quite aware. But yeah, it's quite important in day-to-day life, and especially in doctors, because we are taking care of the society, and before that, we have to take care of ourselves. And mental and physical health is comes in prime aspects. So yeah, but the infrastructure, I won't say infrastructure, but we are, yeah, it's quite saddening that we aren't as focused on mental health issues in general. Yeah, there are no major preventive measures per se.
Absolutely. Have you faced any sort of discrimination from your residential areas due to the fact that you're working in a COVID hospital?
Actually, I stay in the hostel in Mumbai, and when I come from hostel to my hometown, yeah, it is quite. Matlab, not only the fact that I'm an intern, I'm working in a COVID center, but just for the fact that I've come from a red zone, people are quite making. Yeah, it is a good. Love are quite scared and do refrain from meeting me and avoid. Matlab, yeah, they are quite, and it's yeah. It's not wrong in there, right? But yeah, it has the discrimination is a bit palpable, I must say. Yeah.
Okay. How has COVID-19 affected regular treatment of other patients who are suffering from chronic illnesses like cancer, diabetes, or tuberculosis?
Uh,
The question is essentially regarding if a non-COVID person has to go to a
okay.
hospital to say an
Right.
MI or for dialysis or something of that
Right.
sort, are they facing any difficulties in doing that? Because since a lot of hospitals are being converted into COVID centers, so they're not really taking
Right.
in regular patients. So, from that point of view, if you could answer the
Right.
same
Right. Right.
question.
Yeah. Okay. There is a bit of neglect to other patients, but it is not love. We can't do anything really. Other than love, it's kind of an helpless situation because most of our workforce is involved in treating COVID patients because the pandemic is such a big thing. And yeah, it is a saddening part as well because other patients, because we should give equal attention to all, right, as doctors, and treat all patients and treat everyone equally. But yeah, it is time of the hour, so maybe, yeah, there is a bit of neglect. I can agree with that.
Do you think undergraduate medical students are prepared to be a part of the task force against COVID?
Uh, well, I can't speak for them, but yeah, I can't see why they can't be because anyway they are part of the healthcare system. They have opted to serve the country. So if time comes, they shouldn't refrain from uh, helping the nation and the world. So yeah.
Okay. Any closing remarks that you'd like? Anything that you'd like to add? On your
Well, I think as a COVID worker and as a COVID survivor, I don't know, it was a different experience because yeah, mentally it can be a toll, both as a health worker and as a patient, because you're quite isolated from everyone. And but reaching out to people, talking to everyone really helped me in general in this such stressful situation. Like I used to video call my parents and my cousins, so that really helped, and my friends. So being in touch with everyone is really essential. And yeah, matlab, it does pay dividends. You do get credit for working and sacrificing your security or sacrificing, let's say, your health for the nation. So yeah, people do recognize it, and yeah, I'm a proud, uh, let's say, COVID survivor. And it's not a big thing to be afraid of. People should just be aware of it, but shouldn't be afraid because the recovery rate is quite good. But the infectivity and virulence is such, what you can say is it's quite large. So the spread is quite magnanimous. So just people shouldn't be afraid of it, but should be aware and should take all the health measures, like precautionary measures, because prevention is better than cure. always. So yeah, that's it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Aditya.
My pleasure. My pleasure.